Guests are one of Australia's favourite bands and the nicest guys in the business. Here to chat their new album, please welcome Danny, BC and Brett from the Dune Rats.
You instantly sound massive with that intro, don't you?
Yeah. You know what that is, guys? That's commercial radio.
Yeah, you have to budget.
Corporate. We have arrived.
I am a bit worried about the studio levels this morning. I reckon I'm going to blow them out the water, but that's fine. It should be a fun chat.
Yeah. Look, guys, welcome. Is this your first interview on Nova BC?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
He might have forgotten one other time.
Yeah, mate.
Oh, there's just so many commercial ones that we do.
Yeah. Well, look, looks like you guys have been having a lot of fun. Obviously, you've been touring the country a little bit, letting people know about this awesome new album, Real Rare Whale. I saw you did a show at the Bolo Club, which you sort of hang around at.
Shout out to Cooperoo Bowls Club.
Mixed local.
Like in the middle of the day?
It was 4 o'clock because they had noise restrictions. That had to be absolutely do, and so it had to be shut by 5:30 because normally the people in the surrounding houses and apartment blocks complain about the noise, but we actually had a lot of them on the veranda with barbecues set
That's
up.
awesome.
They're actually vibing the show.
That's cool.
So, and Mick walking around Cooperoo is the local mayor, so he gets.
I pretty much levitate around there at the moment.
That's your Instagram handle, right? Mayor of Cooperoo.
Yeah, I did that back when Cooperoo was a bit more rough around the edges.
Yeah,
and
right.
Now it's kind of turning into a C-grade new farm. So
It's been
people think it's a bit
gentrified.
of a flex at the moment.
All these big bands coming through and playing shows.
Well, it was like an eclectic mix of patrons that were at the Coopy Bowls. Like it was like you get your 70-year-old bowling mob who requested 50 door spots. So they were,
All right, okay.
so they were like, so they were in there in full force, and then you just had like young punk kids, and there was a bunch of kids that didn't get in, so they were all by the fences, and it was a good show.
That's unreal. Yeah, that's a different one. That's for sure. Well, let's get into it. Look, great album. I reckon my favourite track of them all is "What a Memorable Night."
What a memorable night, I can't remember anything.
I'm not just going to play the whole song. You guys look at how much of this we're going to listen to.
But when you show people a song for the first time, it's that awkward thing where you don't know when to start turning it off.
On their phone, is this good? Is this good? But like, I love that about your songs. Like, there's so many like good like turn of phrases in there, and that so catchy. Like, what a memorable night. Can't remember a thing. Can you tell us about the wildest night you do remember on a Dune Rats tour?
Amsterdam, we lit up as always.
Okay.
We didn't remember the first couple of times we were there. But,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Have we been here before?
But,
I think they call it the truffle shuffle.
But that always ends up being a really loose night. Where you kind of teeter on the edge of even remember some of it and then not much of it.
Yeah.
So.
That was a great story.
Thank you.
There's also a track called Pamela Aniston. Pamela Anderson and Jennifer Aniston, obviously combined. Is it safe to say those two people gave you a sexual awakening? Is that sort of what the song's an ode to?
I think I kind of didn't know what was happening when I was watching the television when you were like 10 years old. You just know it started to feel weird downstairs. And Mum told you to put your pants back on.
The working title for that song was FHM.
Oh, really?
It was the working title.
Ben and I were talking this morning about that. Like maybe. And sort of kids today, I suppose, are privy to a lot more raw stuff than we got just on like free-to-air television, like before the internet was really a thing. But
for us, it was
video hits.
Yeah, and Miss Impossible's Wagon, like from The Incredibles. Miss Incredible, sorry.
Yeah. But do you remember there was that film clip? I can't even remember the song, but it's like this hangar sort of jet, and then all these babies jump out with parachutes, and they parachute down to the
Wasn't that
want somebody to love. And there's the girl and the giant woman in the bikinis. I didn't know what to think. But there's also like a bit near the end of the song as well, where you're chanting Jennifer. And Danny, that is also happens to be the name of your wife.
Well, that's it. The boys won't ever let me write a love song.
Well, that's
for
it.
her,
Is
so
this-
I just snuck
Is that
it
what
out
it
in
is?
there.
It feels like you might have snuck a love song past the fellas.
She actually said the other day, "Did you tell the guys that song's about me yet?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm sandwiched between two rock and a hard places."
Yeah.
Sounds hot.
But it is her favourite song, I think, for that reason. Yeah.
Nice.
There's another one called Space Cadet, where you're singing about all the things you wanted to be.
Wanna be a race car driver, astronaut or big wave rider, yeah.
Well, I mean, LTD does seem like you're living the dream. Like you guys are, you're touring around with your mates. You're in a rock band. Is that like Brett? Is that? Do you remember what you wanted to be, or did you always want to be a muso? Was there something? Did you want to have like a job?
I wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah,
Like
right.
like a WWE wrestler?
Yeah, man.
Who was your favourite wrestler?
Mankind.
Oh, right.
Mankind. Was he the
Yeah.
one? I think he then changed his name, but he's the one.
He
that had the
was
sock.
Cactus Jack, then
Yeah.
he went to Mankind.
And he used to have a sock that he'd take off his foot, Liam.
That
He'd shove it in the
guy,
mouth.
dude.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That
I
guy.
remember when The Rock took the sock off him and said, "Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?"
BC, did you want to be a wrestler or something, or did you always want to be a drummer?
I just wanted to stop telemarketing, and
Yeah, right. Who did you tell him?
They got him in when he was really young.
it was my first job. I was selling investment properties.
Was that actually what you were doing, like telemarketing for investment properties?
That was what we were doing before we started the band. We were
Ah.
telemarketing. He was a debt collector.
I didn't work with BC, but his person he worked with sold us weed, so I would just rock up to his shifts and just go on his lunch break, buy weed and smoke weed with him. So.
And so when you say debt collector, you used to call people that owed money?
No, yeah, it was a range of people. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, it's
that's
maybe,
not fun, is
I know,
it?
it was not. When they said you could either do this or the band, when I took too many days off, it was a very easy decision. I said, "See you later, Mick. I'm being a debt collector the rest of my life."
I feel like you guys, the tours are always big and crazy. You really made a rod for your back. I mean, every time you tour an album, you've got like inflatables and motorbikes and flames. Is there anything planned for this next cycle? Like anything you can reveal?
We kind of dug a really deep hole with all the previous shows.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah, so where else do you go?
Yeah, when you got a flame.
I think we just get all of our inflatables from the past and put them in the one room and
Yeah.
hope that it looks bigger.
And light them on fire.
And then light them on fire and then walk away as it's exploding.
No, we definitely want to go back into riding a motorcycle on stage at some point, because that was probably for us one of the highlights of all the little things.
Yeah.
It was Mick's first time riding a motorcycle.
And I just put the bike down and started smelling petrol in the first song. It was great.
and we actually leaked petrol all over the stage at Splendor.
And then flicked a match.
we walked away, lit that bitch up.
Maybe we can parachute in on some babies.
Yeah. Don't you want
somebody
to love? Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Was it scooters before motorbikes, or did you do motorbikes and then we're like, what else are you
We
going to do?
did the motorbikes and lost the budget and downgraded.
I thought so, because in my head, scooters were after motorbikes. Probably not as cool.
Now it feels like, because doesn't Oliver Tree does the scooters on stage now as well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
but
stole
now-
that from us.
He did.
Now
Do you reckon he ever
he's-
slams his shin?
Oh, maybe.
Nailed, dude.
Have you seen now, because Oliver Tree's gone to that like cowboy thing now? Like he doesn't do.
So it's the same person. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
same
was
dude.
Yeah,
originally
same
just
dude,
like,
yeah.
Why has he got a blonde mullet now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see him knocking about it? We were all at Splendor in the grass.
Our mate Felix went up to him and just looked up who he was and then saw a picture of him and Post Malone, walked up to him and goes, "Hey, man, I'm friends with Posty." He goes, "Oh, cool." And gave him a hug.
Dude, he was a
Shout
nice
out to
guy.
Felix.
He came up to me. Felix had the cowboy hat.
Yeah,
on, so
yeah.
he's got a bit of a cowboy vibe as well. But when he came up to me and like tapped me on the shoulder and I turned around, I was like expecting to be someone I know. It was like it was him, Oliver Tree. He's like, "Hey man, you got a lighter?" And I was like, "Oh nah," like, and I just felt super uncool because I didn't have one.
We were walking past the security into the back section, and with Felix, who was wearing a cowboy hat, and the security guy goes, "He's not a cowboy," and we go, "Why not?" He's like, "He's wearing gumboots." And I was just like, you got a point there.
Fair point.
Yeah, that guy
You
was
got
a
us.
real cowboy fan.
Yeah, well, there was a few heads flying around. I mean, a lot of people there were asking, "Oh, where's Ben?" It's not really
Not my scene.
Not Ben's scene. He was having a quiet weekend. I think he actually got tickets to Spin-Off, which is 5 minutes away from his house. And he said, "Oh, I'm just going for Jack Harlow," and then he couldn't even be bothered doing that.
It was cold.
I ran into Jack Harlow backstage. And
Oh, really?
I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
yeah.
Oh, it's Jack Harlow. And I'm like, "G'day, Jack." And he's like, love. And I was like, yeah, love.
Mick's just like,
Yeah, love.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Jack Harlow. Hey, Mr. Jack Harlow. You can just call me Jack. Okay, Mr. Jack Harlow.
and that's why he's so cool, eh?
Oh,
He's just
man.
oozes cool.
Well, I
Love.
was mentioning to Ben that Dicko from Australian Idol days, he was probably the big star sort of floating around backstage. I think you got a few photos with him, Danny.
he always has people coming up to him saying touchdown, and then he's like, it's the wrong judge.
Yeah, that was Mark Holden. Eh? He was it's better than going, oh, bang on the gold dress, Dicko.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. A friend of mine sort of was speaking to him and got his number. I don't know why he needed his number, but he got his number somehow, and he was trying to call him with me so I could have a chat to Dicko because I didn't go up to him. And then the next day we checked his phone and he'd called Dicko 18 times.
We've told this story before. I don't know if you boys remember, but I'm pretty sure it was the same year you did the motorbikes on the main stage. Do you remember Elon Musk was there at the Gold Bar?
Yeah.
And then he had the 2 security guards, and he had that technology where if you tried to take a photo of him, they had this tech where it flashed so you couldn't get a photo of him.
Well, I saw him because I'd just finished reading the book.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And I said to Joe, who is the artist liaison there, I said, as soon as, because there was a rumor going around Elon was going to come to this festival, and I said, as soon as he's on site, you've got to tell me because I'm going to just wait at the exit for him.
Yeah.
Because he has to get out somehow.
Yeah.
Just get it out. That's it.
That was the theory. Anyway, so I was waiting, and then all of a sudden here he is walking up with Amber Heard, and I went to open my mouth, and his security guard goes, "Nah, mate." And we got so rattled, and I just go, "Thank you."
Oh, man.
I just wanted to thank him for mankind for trying to figure a way out. So,
Thanks for getting us to space.
yeah, but yeah, that was my brief moment. It wasn't as cool as the Harlow love.
I know.
I would have loved it if Elon Musk went love.
Is there any? I mean, they're 2 great examples already. I mean, I doubt you'd be able to top that. But I mean, you've done shows all around the world. Is there anyone that you sort of bumped into along the way who might have been at a festival? You know, some sort of notable name. I mean, it's the fact that Elon Musk was in Byron Bay and why? Like, it doesn't really make sense. But is there anyone else that comes to mind?
Well,
BC met Josh Brolin in the toilet one time, and
Thanos.
we were like sitting on this table, and he's like come to sit down and say hi to John Feldman, who we're sitting having breakfast with.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi, this is Danny and Brett." And then this is BC, and he's like, "Oh, we already go way back, whatever." And he's been in the toilet, I guess, sitting on the loo together with Josh Brolin.
That's
No
awesome.
Country Road, man. I didn't even know who he was.
You've not seen Endgame?
Brett told Liam Gallagher once that his songs were shit. Because you told
right.
Liam that.
Yes, I remember.
He
this.
liked my kecks or something. He liked my shorts.
Yeah, no, because once again, Ben was away for this one, but back in the Triple J days, I interviewed Liam Gallagher and had like half an hour with him. He was an absolute legend. And before we were just sort of talking, and it was like talking. I said, "Oh, did you get to see any of the bands?" He's like, "Yeah, man. Cool, man. What's that band, man? They got that, shit song, like bullshit, bollocks." And I was
Rubbish
like,
song.
I was like, the Dune Rats. You obviously got a song called Bullshit, and he was like, "Yeah, man, that's it. Dune Rats. Yeah, they're cool, man. I like them. Yeah, cool." But then. Did the wires get crossed? Because I told you guys that.
Yeah, and then he came up and he goes, we came up to him and he was like, playing Junior. He's like, I like that shit song, man.
And then Brett, you
Rubbish.
thought he said your songs were shit.
Yeah, I was just having a prod with him.
and then Brett says, "No, your songs are shit." And
then his wife, as his manager, came up like, "No, the bullshit song."
Yeah. Then I split as you were, Lee. Get out of here.
So funny.
But there was also one time in LA we were sitting there and BC had met Fred Durst, and we were at this
Turn it off
restaurant
with the
and we were just
nookie.
waiting out there, and he's coming out to the valet to get his car, and he goes, "Oh," and just stops from getting in his car and walks over to Mick and fist bumps Mick. We didn't know that he'd met him. We were just going, "That's Fred Durst." And so it's all these occasions where we're like,
Limp
how the
Bizkit.
hell do these people know BC? Like, and
And how did you know Durst? How did you know?
I saw him getting out of the valet.
in the men's toilet.
And I followed him into the men's toilet and was like, "Dude, keep rolling, brother."
Well, on that note, I think we'll leave it there. Make sure you check out the new album. It really is your best yet. Real Rare Whale is the name of it. And Junies, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so much.
joining us
Cheers.
this morning.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.